but I still don't see it.
Should be a little orange pop-up.
Sometimes you have to move your cursor to the, I do anyway, to the bottom of the page, and then the taskbar shows up. Sorry for the background noise.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, hi everyone, thanks for coming. My name's Nisha and I'm the Member Services Coordinator here at Village to Village Network. You should be able to hear and see me as well as see the homepage of Village to Village Network. If you're unable to, please let me know right now or chat me in the chat box. Also, I'm asking that everyone please mute their microphone during this presentation, and since we have a small enough group, at any point, go ahead and unmute yourself and stop me to ask a question. But when you're not speaking, please just mute yourself. And I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone right now because I am hearing some background noise and I don't want to be disturbing. Okay. So the mute button is at the bottom. It depends on where the little toolbar is. You should see a toolbar that says mute, stop video, manage participants, etc. Just press that mute once. When there's a red line through it, that means you're muted. Undo that, just press it again.
Nisha, it's Marcy again, and all I see is the Village to Village Network page. The picture of you and the other faces went away.
Okay, you probably minimized the thumbnail, so if you could just maximize right above the pictures of everyone, you should be able to see it.
Yeah, I don't have pictures anymore. They're gone. Okay, is what I'm saying.
Can you press escape on your screen?
Escape, yeah.
Okay, press escape.
I did. Nothing's happening. I mean, what I see is the Village to Village Network homepage. I don't want to take up everybody else's time, but I'm just seeing the homepage of Village to Village Network.
Okay.
For some reason.
All right, that's fine because that is what you're supposed to be seeing. I was just telling everyone to mute their microphones for the time being, but yeah. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so once again, if you have any questions, feel free to stop me during the presentation. So I'm just going to go through the website piece by piece. Some stuff you probably have seen already, and if once again, if there are other things you want me to go over in a section, please let me know. So the first thing I'm going to go through is the login. So when you log on to vtvnetwork.org, this is what you'll see. And the login page, as you'll see, is in the top right-hand corner. You just go ahead and press that. We ask that people don't press that Remember Me button, especially if you're sharing computers with another village member, because when that happens, it'll remember it, and then you're unable to use another username and password to get in. And then you have to clear your cookies, which will clear passwords on other sites as well. So make sure to just always log in. Make sure you uncheck the Remember Me box, and there should be no problems. Okay. Sorry, I'm just muting people so there's no background noise. Okay. Next order of business, I'm just going to go through the homepage real quick. So right here we have, these are for people who want to get on our mailing list, this little mailing icon right here. It's for people who aren't members. So maybe you have friends or family members who just want to get our information, maybe our newsletter, and our emails or stuff like that. So you can sign them up there. And then here's our Facebook and Twitter, just links directly to our accounts. So here we have the home page. Our most pertinent information will be on this sliding bar right here. You'll see pictures as well as an announcement. So for example, the sponsorship, you can read more for the National Village Gathering. And our webmaster, Travis, updates this pretty often, at least once a month. So if you're ever wondering what's going on in the network, this is the quickest way to figure out what's happening. Under that, we have Find a Village, which is the village map. So this is one of our most used tools. I'm just going to go through it really quickly for you guys. So we now have a filter list. So you go ahead and press the little magnifying glass, and you can search for a village by name, city, country, state. You can do within 10 miles of a certain zip code, or see which zip codes that community serves. You can narrow the search down to being a member or non-member, open in development, etc. So, for example, I'm going to pick St. Louis. And here, let's do a better example. Okay, so I want to find a village that's 10 miles, within 10 miles of me, and I want to make sure they're a member, and I want to make sure they're open too, and they're open and providing services. So I put all that in. You can see what the little bubbles mean in their colors. Press search. It'll pinpoint me to the area where it is, and under the map is where, okay, one village found, STL Village, open network member, yes. So STL Village has their website up, so I can go ahead and press their website here to go there. Or for more info, I stay on the website, and I'm able to see the primary member, which is usually their executive director or president, as well as their location, phone number, email, etc., so you can get in contact with them. And just so you know, this information comes from the primary member. So if you're the primary member of your village, this is pertinent to you. All the information under your contact info is what shows up on more info under the website, which means that it'd be best to keep it the village address, the village email, all village information rather than personal, since people will be searching your village and you want them to go directly to the village and not through your personal accounts first. All right, do we have any questions on the map? Make sure to unmute before you ask. All right, so moving forward, the bottom part of the homepage is just about Village to Village Network, which is also here, and then the event calendar, and then our donation module. So the event calendar is another thing that's used very often, so I can press here or here on the toolbar. And you'll see for the month of May all the events we have going on. So you guys all figured out how to register for an event, obviously, since you're here. Just click on the event, click here to register. Make sure that you are logged in. So, for example, a new member orientation and almost all of our webinars are for members only. So if you're not logged in, as you can see, I can tell that I'm logged in because it says my name right here. If it didn't, it would say login with the circle. So I'm logged in, so I'm able to access everything. If you're not logged in, the calendar will appear blank. So you can click to register, and you can even add it to your Google Calendar if that's what you'd like. And then there's usually a little description at the end, and there's no fees for our webinars. Okay, back to the home page. All right, so now one by one, I'm going to go through our resources, which are most helpful to people who are on the board of their villages or on certain committees. So the first thing I'm going to go through is the document library. So we went to resources, village documents. So the village documents is a giant library compiled of documents from villages all over the country. We've split it into two giant folders which have a bunch of subfolders. We have village documents and network documents. So let's say you're a village who is just starting up and you're trying to survey the community to see if there's a need. I would go to village documents, surveys and marketing, and I can look in this folder, which will have all the documents below. Or if I'm looking for certain marketing, I can look through these other smaller folders. As you can see, there's so much. Village governance has a bunch of subfolders, and just make sure to look under. That's where all the documents are. And if you ever need help finding something, you can email me or Natalie, and we can direct you because we understand there is a lot of subfolders to go through. So this is something that as a new village or even a village that's been operating for a while, make sure to look through the document library, look at other villages, resources, try to use that to make your own documents and your own policies as well. And then as for network documents, this is where we keep a lot of the village to village network stuff. So here is the network member benefits, which is what I'm going through right now with you guys. And then here, this is probably the folder you will travel to the most, is the village gathering folders. It contains all our presentations, the PowerPoints from previous years, as well as the handouts. And under that, you'll see research, nominating committee, etc. This is all for the network. You guys will probably be most interested in looking under the big folder of village documents. All right, so if there's no questions, I will move on to the next thing. Once again, make sure to unmute. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. So I'm on our village steering committee, and a lot of what I do has to do with volunteers. Is there a particular section, or where might I look for any information on? Okay, that's what I was
Yes, okay,
thinking.
so it's
Got it.
village
Okay.
operations, volunteers,
Thanks.
volunteerism, yeah. And our
Okay.
volunteers folder is huge. So
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
yep, no problem.
Nisha, this is Susan. I have a question also. I'm interested, I understand that someplace in the resources or someplace through the network, one can get questions that were sent back from the IRS about the applications for 501c3. And I did get sent something that just had a few questions, a spreadsheet from your office. But it wasn't recent and it wasn't extensive in terms of the questions that were asked. Is there a place in the resources I should be looking for that?
Is this where you've spoken to Ann Andler about?
Yeah, I had spoken to Ann about that, and she said through the network they'd been able to find the kinds of questions that they were likely to be asked if they didn't cover them in their application.
Okay. I was the one who emailed you, and I asked Natalie about it. If we have anything more than that, I'll have to ask her again after this and email you. But off the top of my head, I don't know where it is if we have it.
Okay, I tried to search the forum, and I didn't get anywhere. And then I do have that spreadsheet, and it has some questions, but not a lot.
Okay, I will look again and email you if there's anything else. I made a note of it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep. Are there any other questions before I move on? Okay. All right, I'm going to move on to the forums. So another thing that's used a lot by our village members are the forums. So people really mostly use the general questions. The frail members call we've put on hold for now. So really, I would just be concerned with this first one. So you go ahead, you're in the forums, as you can see. You can press general questions. So there's many things you can do here. Let's say you want to search the forum about transportation. We have so many forum posts about transportation. Go ahead and just put it in here, press enter. And under here will show all the messages that are relevant to what I said. You can also obviously narrow your search, change it a bit. And you can, let's say you know that someone from Beacon Hill Village posted it, maybe they're executive director, so like Laura Connors, you could put in here. Or if you know the member, you heard like, oh, this member was talking about this and you want to read that post, you can type in their name as well. And also I always do newest first because it's the most relevant research. So you can see, here we go. So yeah, we just had a post about it 3 days ago, and you can go in and just click on the forum and see what people have said and get your answers that way. Let's say you've searched for a bunch of stuff and you're unable to find it. So you go back to the forums, back to general questions, and here I would say everyone should search the forum first, just because you have years and years of forum posts on here. It's likely that your question has been asked before, but if you're unable to find it, I would do start new thread, which is up here in the left-hand corner. So you start new thread, put your subject in, and then your message, and then just go ahead and post, and it'll show up. Probably all of you have your email set to getting the forum post directly to your email right when they're posted, and then getting a summary at the end of the day. I'll go over the preferences later under your profile. So does anyone have any questions about the forums and the postings? Okay, I will move on to webinars. So these are the recorded webinars that we put on. So as I showed you already, on the calendar is where all the webinars and when they take place. The webinars that we record are the ones that other people put on for us. So this new member orientation and our tech talks, I don't usually record unless someone requests me to if they're unable to attend, because we have them monthly or bi-monthly. But our other webinars will always be recorded and they'll always be on this webinar page. We just had one last week by Emily. And the title's here, and you can just go ahead and press view webinar here, and it takes you to our YouTube page, and then it'll go through her slides, her presentation, etc. Also, if there are supplemental documents with that webinar, our webmaster will link them there, or you're able to find them in the document library. So let's see, we have pretty much only webinars from 2017 on here, but if you're looking for an old webinar that you heard about, go down to the bottom and do archive webinars. And this, it's not filtered by date, it's filtered by category. So we have member services, technology, fundraising, etc. And as you can see, the related materials are, they're here, and this takes you to the document library where they're located. Fundraising, marketing, research, village health and safety, about village movement, village startup, diversity. So we do have a lot of old webinars that you could look through as well, and then the 2017 ones too. All right, any questions about that? Okay, great. So moving forward, the next member benefit is the Village Better Buys. So these are all companies or organizations that they give a discount to village members. So for example, Club Express, which is the platform that we have our website on, and about 100 villages use this platform as well. They are one of our Better Buys. So you can click learn more to learn more about it. They tell you more about Club Express in the village template, and in bold is what the discount is for village members. So you can see that the startup fee is lower and the monthly fee is lower. For Club Express, you're able to see a demo website to see what your village website could potentially look at. You just have to contact us first. And then if you need more information, you can contact them directly. They are very good at responding, and our contacts there are very quick to get back to us. So that's just one of them. There's many others like SiteQues, which is a program that helps make websites easier for seniors to see. So like you can make the font bigger, you can change text to audio, you can change the coloring so it's easier to read with the background colors. We have an insurance group, Verified Volunteers, which will be doing a webinar next month about, vetting your volunteers, background checks, etc. Care.com and CareLink. So that's something you guys can all check out in your own time to see what would be most useful for your village. All right, any questions on that? Okay, so Village 101, this is for our villages that are developing. It's just an extensive toolkit that I would say it's like 100, more than that, 100 something pages long, and it includes like a very long checklist of everything you need to do to start a village and which villages it's pertinent to. So maybe like a certain line item is pertinent for a rural village, but not for an urban one, and it'll show right there on the checklist. This just gives a little overview of it, and then the PDF is right here at the bottom. Once again, this is a member-only benefit, so make sure when you are logging on, when you get on the website to log on, otherwise you won't be able to see the Village 101 under the Resources tab at all. All right, next is the Mentor Program. So the Mentor Program is for developing or open villages. We're just trying to formalize a mentor process and make sure we're matching people with who they fit with best. So all you really have to do is fill out this requesting a mentor application. It'll take you to a Google form, ask you a bit about your village and what you're looking to gain. And once you submit that, I get a notification, and I'll go through our mentors and try to see who's available. And once I receive a match, I will email you guys both in a thread together, and then you guys can start your process. Mentors can be anything from like, if you just have like one or two little questions that'll be 30 minutes on the phone, to maybe you want someone to talk to you like once a week for like a month or two. Just have to be, you just have to make that clear on your application, because you ask about that, so we can match you with someone who's able to give you the time. And also, if you want to become a mentor in anything, if you're a village that's been running for a while and you think that you'd be a useful mentor to someone, we're always looking for mentors. So you can fill out this becoming a mentor application down here. And then once a month, I'll be emailing people who are mentees or mentors with the tracking form, just so we can see how many hours are being mentored per month here at the network. And then to get more details, you can click here, but really it's just as basic as I've explained. All right. Any other questions on that? Okay, the next thing I'm going to go through is the membership directory. So this has all our village members on here. So it's not members of the individual villages, it's people who are with on probably like the village staff or the board of the certain villages. So obviously the members of the network are villages, and on their profiles it's usually presidents, executive directors, like committee members, etc. So let's say you went to the national gathering and you met someone and you only remember like where they're from, or you only remember their first name or something. You can search by first name, last name, city, state, zip, country, etc. So let's say I've talked to someone from STL Village, but I couldn't remember their name. So I can search for STL Village. And then I can see all the people on their profile. So here I see Madeline Franklin, Executive Director, Arthur Culbert, which is a board director, and 2 other people. So that would be efficient. Also, this kind of stuff, if you are on your village's profile with Village Network, you can also opt out. You don't have to have your information on here. But just so you know, the membership directory is also password protected. So not just anyone can look at it. It's only members of the network. Are there any other questions on this or any of the resources before I go into individual profiles? Okay, now I'm going to go.
I have a quick question. I see I'm on here, but there's no photo. So I would go into probably up there at the top where it has my name.
Yeah, so I'm going to go through that stuff right now, the profiles.
Okay,
yeah.
Good, thanks.
Any other questions? Okay. All right, so to get to your profile, to deal with all your settings, contact information, email information, etc., you have to log in, which I showed you at the beginning, and then just press your name and then press profile. So here is where it'll show your renewal dates, your expiration dates, if you're active or not, if you have any pending payments, etc. So if you are the primary member, it'll show your join date here, your expiration date, and the last time you renewed. Let's say my expiration date was May 16th, 2017. There would be a little red thing that said up for renewal right here. And let's say I renewed, but I didn't pay. That would change to a red payment due right here. So if it's completely clear, it means I have no renewals to make and no payments to make. And once again, this only shows up for the primary member. The primary member is the only one who can renew memberships and pay for memberships. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to go over is the contact info. So this is the information that shows up in the member directory. And if you're the primary member, once again, it shows up on the village map if someone searches your village. So you put in all your information right here, and you can uncheck this little box right here to stop receiving general information emails from us. So this includes the webinar emails, the reminder emails, the National Village Gathering emails, and just anything that has to do with like what's going on in the network that's written by Natalie or me. But this setting doesn't change the fact that Club Express sends you automated emails 1 month before your renewal date, and you'll get 3 of those before you renew. So it doesn't stop those, but it'll stop the general information emails. Most people don't uncheck that because our general information emails are about webinars or upcoming like programs, etc. So technically I am under a staff profile, so it's a bit different, but I set it up to be that of the primary. So I'm pretending I'm a primary member, and I put Village Network, my address, city, state, etc., phone number of the village, And I have like my email of the village to make sure that if someone were to search, they would see that stuff. And then if me as the primary member, I choose to put my home and secondary address, I could do this one. I could do this as well. Okay. Going back to my profile. So under that, so additional member data, once again, is for primary members only. Oh. Can everyone hear me okay? It says my internet's unstable.
You were breaking up a little bit.
Okay, am I better now?
It's good now.
Okay, all right, thanks. Okay, so this is for primary members. This information shows up when you click that more info. So I showed you when you click more info, you saw the name, the address, the email. Under that will be this information. So I can put in what's your role. I can put executive director, president, whatever I am, the year of incorporation, et cetera, et cetera. So this kind of stuff just really helps people who are trying to join your village get to know a bit more about you. So it really is in your best interest as the primary member to answer all these questions, since they will be available on the map. So membership directory. So this is what I was talking about. If you want to be invisible or visible on here, there's a bunch of different choices. So I could do not list me in the directory. I could only show certain things or show all information. I just have name, title, company, no address. And then social networking, it's also really helpful. So villages will put in their Twitter, their Facebook, their LinkedIn for their village, etc. Just so the more information you get on our map, the more people will want to look into your village. And then we always ask the primary members, once again, only to write a biography. You can also write one if you're not, but it's most pertinent for the primary members to write this because, once again, it shows up on their profile when people are searching them. And then this is the last thing that's for primary members only. It's the states and additional members. So this is where I add people or remove them. So as an opportunity member, you get 10 secondary members. As a full member, you get 20. So all these secondary members I would have under there get their own username and password, which means they can access all these resources that I went through with you guys, because all these resources require a login to access. Let's say there's someone who's on the board or in the village and they are not anymore, I can just press remove. But just make sure if you're the prime member, when you add someone, you fill out all this information. When you press save, there's going to be a white pop-up box that shows up with their username and password. Make sure to write that down the first time because we don't have access to passwords and we just have to keep resetting. So if you give that to them first, they can log in for the first time and then change it immediately to something they would remember better.
Nisha, what happens if the primary member resigns or whatever, and how would that person change it to a different primary member?
For those revisions, you just have to email me and I will switch them out for you guys.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right, so another thing I'm going to go through is transaction history. So this shows all your registration. So this shows all the events I've signed up for, like signed up for our Frail Members Call and a webinar, etc., and how much it was charged, 0 for the webinars. And then it'll also show, like, let's say you signed up for the National Village Gathering, and also show up there. And if you go down, if you push it down there, you'll get a little bit more information on what it was. And then the payment credit history, it'll show, let's say you sign up for the gathering, once again, the date, the payment type, the amount it was, and this is where you access your receipts. You just press this, you get your receipt, and you can print that or, save it as a PDF, whatever you choose to do. So a lot of people ask for receipts and confirmation that they've signed up for the gathering, which is our biggest event that we charge money for. You can always look for that through your profile. All right, credit card. Once again, this is really only for the primary member, or mostly used by the primary member. You can put your card information in there. It never saves it completely. You'll always have to put in that 3-digit code on the back, so there's no fear of just, charging things on accident. Okay. The next thing, I was talking about the forum general preferences and how most of you probably get them to your emails. So some people like them, some people think there's too many. So if you are fine with how they are right now, it's likely that you'll just have to leave your profile as it is. Let's say you don't want to get them to your email and you'd rather just log onto the website and read the forms when it's convenient for you. You can uncheck this box, and you can also uncheck this box. So uncheck this, you won't get them at all, and you'll only be able to access them through logging onto the website and going to the forums. And as you could see, when I was doing a test forum post, you saw that my name, ooh, I need to change this. My name and city, and then my village showed up under it. So you can do this, or you can choose to just show just my name and location. I have done both just to show people. So you could do a whole signature. Maybe I'd put like member services coordinator under here too. So you can do that, or you can just do the manual way this way. Hold on. Okay. All right, and then the last thing is the picture. We had a question about the picture. All you have to do is press here, choose file, and just pick a picture from your computer and it'll upload right away. And make sure to press save at the bottom of everything.
Nisha,
Yeah?
when can the primary change the emailing preferences on the forum of the secretary? Each have to do that themselves?
Everyone has to do that themselves because it's under their profile.
Okie doke, thanks.
Yep. Okay. All right, and then let's see. Okay, the last thing that would be useful is, let's say you have been using a username and password your primary member has given you from a long time ago, and you want to change it to something that you'll remember better. You can just press right here, username and password. It'll ask you to type in your original and then type in what you want to use going forward. And yeah. And then the last thing is forum memberships. This won't be pertinent right now, might be in the future. So right now, the automatic forums that people are a part of are just the general questions. As we get more specific forums, you might have to opt into a few. So for example, like we used to have this technology one and a rural village discussion group. You would have to press the opt-in, which is a little green button in here, but that will probably come in the future. Right now, I'd say everyone posts their questions to the general questions. But if there are no other questions, that's pretty much all I have to present. If you have other specific questions on anything I went over, or just anything about villages or the network in general, feel free to ask now. I'll stay on for a few more minutes to take any questions.
I'm just going to say thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions? Oh, sorry, you were muted. Now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't find the mute thing. So I thought I updated my photo. It looked like it did update it, but it's not showing up. But I need to like exit and go back and do it again.
Maybe if you definitely press save, maybe log out and log back in.
Yeah, I'll try that. Okay. Good. I'll keep playing with it. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Make sure to unmute if you're talking. Well, if there are no more questions, then please feel free to email me. This is recorded. I had to record it for another member. So if you want the recording, I will go ahead and send that around. And yeah, as always, email me, call us. It's all on the website, and I can help you with anything else you need.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.